In this video, we're about to unbox a ton of rods, reels, lures, and fishing accessories, most of which we scored on Black Friday deals. So I'm excited to share with you what we picked up, and feel free to let me know what you scooped up on Black Friday or Cyber Monday down in the comments below. What's up, nerds? I'm Jeff with the Aggressively Average Anglers, and I am sans Paul today because he is too busy apparently, and I didn't want to waste any more time unboxing these things. I'm really excited to see what we got, so let's dive right in. Oh, and by the way, if this is your first time stopping by, this is what we do on the channel. We review everything in the fishing industry, and I mean everything. We try it all. So if that sounds interesting to you, be sure to subscribe so you can see more. Let's get to this unboxing. First up, we'll start with this one since it's the first thing I grabbed, but this is the Berkley triple minnow rig. This thing is pretty cool. Just a unique way to rig up a bunch of jig head minnows. Something a little different from your classic, your typical wire A-rig or umbrella rig. And we're really excited to test this out. First saw this actually from Debo's Fishing. We were on a podcast with him and he was like, oh, by the way, I bought this thing. And I was like, that's neat. I don't remember seeing anything about this. Apparently I lived under a rock, but now I've seen it and I'm pretty pumped about it. This looks really cool. So with both of these, we went for the 4-inch option. You get 5 baits with that and 4 jig heads. 2 in each weight. So these come with 2 at 1/4 ounce and 2 at 3/8 of an ounce. And as you can see, you rig it up some crazy way like so. I have no idea. I'm really excited to experiment with this. We had some luck on A-rigs in the past, but it's not something we fish consistently or consistently well. So I'm excited to try that out and see if we do maybe a little bit better with that. Pretty sure those are normally 20 bucks. We got them for $16.99. This next bait is from Power Bait, and this is another new one, which I thought kind of slipped under the radar. It got a little bit of a hype train initially, but I didn't see too much content on it. So I am pumped to try this one out. Get ready for the stank. Here we go. This is max scent, so makes you rethink life choices. So this thing right here, now my fingers are gonna stink forever, is called the Flux Gill, and it looks like so. Probably looks familiar. There's a lot of baits like this on the market right now, but this one does present something a little different. So you got this hole pattern. It is open up throughout, but it does have the big rigging area up front. I've seen this thing absolutely catching them on the few videos that I did see, so I am definitely interested to see how we can do with it up here in Michigan where we fish. I've had some good luck on the bellows gill, so I'm certain that we will catch, especially with the assistance of that max scent. So that first color was watermelon green, and then we've got here the dark gill. I was really excited about this one. Check that out. So you got the copper flake mixed in there too. They offer a bunch of different colors, but these are the ones we went with, and the ones that I feel the most confident about catching with too. Price point on those came in at $8.49, so not cheap. Max scent never is, but it just seems to just straight up catch fish. So to me, that makes it worth it. So next up was one of the things where we almost missed out, right? On Black Friday, you had the opportunity to get 15% off all hard baits, all swim baits. That included brands like Megabass. Now at first we would have totally missed out on this because we thought they were excluded, being that they were on the excluded page. After a few of you sleuths out there, you gumshoes, figured it out, you let us know in the comments, we went back and we bought them. So I am pumped about this, but we did end up with a couple different colors of the Vision 110 Junior, which is personally my favorite go-to. I love the Vision 110 Junior. Don't even need the +1 most of the time. This thing just straight up gets it done. Again, we're fishing here in Michigan, so we're in the Midwest, and it seems to me in my experience that fish tend to bite these more than full-size jerkbaits. Of course, I've had great days on both, so just saying. Also, one of my boxes got exploded. That happens sometimes with these Vision 110 boxes, unfortunately. Bunch of different colorways here. Let's go through them real quick. So we got the baby Kingo. Really excited about that one. I think I got 2 of those because Paul wanted that too. I'm such a nice guy. I'm gonna give him the non-exploded one. So there's the baby Kingo. I love these. They're just a downsized jerkbait. Still got 3 trebles. Very good hookup ratio in my experience, and high quality components. So I always keep one of these in the tackle box at the very least, maybe a couple. And when you can get them for 15% off, it makes it almost worth it for most people. I know a lot of people don't want to spend the money on these. I personally am happy to because I know that they work really well. And when I can get a discount on them, it's a no-brainer for me. So nowadays, these actually run $23.99. I remember when they were 20 bucks. So I got them at 20 bucks, but only with the discount from Tackle Warehouse. I got two other colors here. So we had the Wagen Hasu, and yes, I will mispronounce these names. I apologize for that. This is actually my favorite color. It almost looks kind of like a crappie. This thing gets bit like nonstop. I have one of these I constantly have in the tackle box. And then we picked up a new color to us, which is the Ito Clear Laker. Got quite a bit of flash there, almost like a little foil. So that looked interesting to me, and can't wait to try that out. It's December, there's ice on my lake already, so it's gonna be a while, but eventually I'm gonna use this. Staying on that Megabass train, we also picked up the 5-inch mag draft. We've loved this one. We've used the 6, the 8, the 10, like the giant swim baits. Those are great. We have found though that these are getting the most consistent bite for us out of all the different models that they have. So we picked up a couple more. This color right here is Celeste. It's actually a personal favorite of Paul's and one that he fishes all the time. At least he did, until a pike destroyed it in a river. And that was a bummer. So we wanted another one. And I picked up a different color because I wanted to be different. This color is Kishu IU. And yeah, I'll stop saying AU. I said it for 100 videos at this point. And I've been called out in the comments. So it is IU. I got it. Thank you for whoever said that nicely to me. I love constructive criticism. But there we go. So we got the Mag Draft 5-inch. I like the look of this one a lot. It's got a little bit of glitter in there. Some like nice natural colors too. This is going to do really well for us. Those, by the way, came out to $12.74, which is not bad for a Mag Draft. And then, you guys, this ended up being like one of the best deals if you're into swim baits and if you're okay with spending the money. But this is, and we only picked up one because I'm not made of money. Money doesn't grow on trees. This is the Eco from Clutch Swimbait Co. So this thing is $100 swim bait. Yeah, gasp. But we're able to get it for around 85 bucks, which makes it almost sort of considerable for those who are willing to spend a lot of money on swim baits, but don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on swim baits. I know, it's a very niche group, and a lot of you are probably looking at this thing and saying 85 bucks, get out of here. We'll see. We'll see. If this catches some monsters, awesome. If Paul loses it first cast, I will punch him in the throat. I'm just saying. So the reason that we picked this one up is because I've been hogging the swim baits, apparently. But I got the KGB, the Spro KGB little guy. I also picked up the Chad Shad. So I've been kind of hogging those and not sharing them with Paul because why would I do that? So I decided to be a somewhat nice, benevolent co-host and get him this one. So he is going to be using this, and I'll be honest, this thing is pretty dang sick right out of the box. I know that there's a lot of different things you can do with this. There's a lot of adjustments you can make to it. It should have a really nice natural swimming and gliding action. So yeah, it's sick, kind of jelly. I'm surprised that it doesn't have swivel trebles for that much money, but I'm sure there's a reason why it doesn't, but we'll, you know, again, remains to be seen. All in all, looks like a solid glide bait with a decent construction, and hopefully I will learn why it is worth $100. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's a little mini glide bait under his eye. Interesting. Good for Paul. Great. Hopefully he thoroughly enjoys this. All right, now you better catch me a 10-pounder. I mean, Paul, he's definitely getting this. I won't keep it. Next up, let's hit the accessories. Then we got rods and reels. So for the accessories, we've got a pretty nifty new drop from Buzbe. You guys know we've used Buzbe fishing on the channel before, and they came out with a couple of new products this year that are actually really exciting. And one of those is actually for your Buzbe thin boxes. So I gotta be like the skinny boxes here, but they came out with slotted foam trays. So take any hook or jig head you have, and then it just slides right into foam like so. You can fit a ton in each one of these, and then you can take those trays, pop them in a box that is now watertight and floats. Pretty neat. So from Buzbe, you can buy these preloaded like this, or you can buy the individual trays. Again, right now, it looks like they are just for the thin variety, so not the full size or the regular size option. And here's another example of that in a 3,700 size box. So that was the mini box. This is the big box. So you can see all these trays. They do also have a 2x3. That's their unit of measure. So this is a 2x2 square, 2x3 big rectangle. And you can mix and match with your open trays as well. So pretty cool concept. I like the idea. And if you're in the market to store all your jig heads, underspins, etc., this could be a good option for you. But the big drop from Buzbe this year was this. We've got essentially a bait chamber, what they actually call lure sleeves, for all sorts of different varieties and sizes of baits. Like it's kind of nuts. There's a lot to this. So I went to the website to see what all they had, what the offers were, and they have a number 2, which is this size, up to a number 4. So your number 2, as you can see, they actually show with the baits there. It's gonna be like your square bills, some of your jigs, your rattle traps, and they're open end to end, just like that. So pretty cool. You can slide the bait in, slide it out the other side, nice and easy. You also notice it's not just a number 2, it's also the medium. And then they have a large number 2 as well. And this is gonna be better for your spinner baits. Now, not all your spinner baits are gonna fit in here, obviously. If you have big old suckers, they're not gonna work, but it is an option for sure. And it's actually closed on one end. So in this case, you can just squeeze the ends, it opens up, drop her on in. Yeah, so here's like a standard size War Eagle, and we're gonna squeeze it, open her up, and then we can just drop her on in there. Okay, actually, not too bad. It does fit. We just slide her right back out. That was pretty easy. But then if you go to your big boy, your 1-ouncers here, that is not gonna work. There ain't no way I can make this happen. Hang on. Okay, you can sort of store your big ones. It's a little bit tougher, but like your standard size spinner baits are gonna work just fine in this. Then we got our medium number 3s, which is gonna be good for like your smaller jerk baits, bigger square bills, small swim baits. And then you got your large number 3s, which would be your buzz baits. That I really like the idea of. Actually, it's how I normally store all my topwater stuff. So it's a Buzbe where this section is open, frogs, buzz baits, and this section is more like poppers, topwater walking baits. But what I could do, take the old buzz bait sleeve and then just drop that sucker in there, maybe. Oh, there you go. Tuck her on in. I got 2, so I might as well use them both. There you go. With the larger ones, if you have a deep box, they'll actually sit in there vertically like that. But another option is you can just lay them down like this, and I can close them up in there. And now they aren't touching my frogs. They're separate. Look, they fit in there just fine. So that's kind of cool. Of course, then we take those medium options, grab one of these off, and these ones are open as well, whereas those buzzbait ones were closed. Take your standard jerk baits, slide them on in, just like so. And then when you want them out, you can actually just open up the other end and they come out the other end just like that. So you don't have to like fight the hooks on the way back out. So you can just drop them in like that. If you want them out, drop it out the other side. That's pretty clean. Then they have the medium number 4, which is for your big old baits. So long swim baits, walking baits. So I can take something like this big old topwater spook. I can squeeze the sides here. And I can drop her in. Oh, this one actually might want to go in the bigger. Nope, it fits. There we go. If you got something even bigger than that though, that's when you go to the number 4 large. These are the big boys. There's like your swim bait option. So I could take something like, here we go. I got a big old 6-cent swim bait. It's about the right size for that. You really just gotta like watch the hooks. Maybe just like hang on to the top hook. Oh yeah, that's way better. So there we go, nice and easy. Pretty good option, I would say. I also like that it has this open tab on the side as well, just easier to pick it up, hold that. And then again, just easy in, easy out. Pretty neat. So there you have it. And they sent us a bunch of these things. I did do the homework, by the way. The price point on these for the number 2s, they come in 3-packs and 20-packs. So get a few or get a lot. So those go from $4.95 for the 3-pack up to $29.95 for the 20-pack. That is for the open end, so both ends open. If you want the closed end version, so the one that they suggest for spinner baits, or on the bigger side they had like buzz baits, but for the small size, $45.95 for a 20-pack. 3-pack's the same price. The size number 3, $5.95 for a 3-pack, $35.95 for the 20-pack, $49.95 though for the closed version, which is like those buzzbait ones for 20 of them. And then for the number 4s, it's $6.95 for the 3-pack, $39.95 for the 20 pack, $49.95 actually for the closed version because they're on sale for the 20 pack, or $7.95 on sale for the 3 pack on that one. Certainly an option. One more accessory that I don't have down here because it's actually attached to my Old Town EPDL. Yak Attack last week on Thursday launched this new product, is the Command Center swing arm. It should be available on their website now. It should be around $100. As far as I know, again, I'm just going off information that I have from the team over at Yak Attack. I got a chance to just deal with a prototype version of this, and I was already really happy with that. They have done a ton of updates and improvements to this thing, and now I am stoked to get this on multiple builds in the future. I think that it solves a big problem that a lot of kayaks like the Old Town EPDL Pro have, which is where you can't have a command center or a crossbar at the front that goes all the way across. Very common issue with most pedal kayaks, because that pedal drive is going to get in the way when you need to flip it up or take it out. You're going to knock right into your command center, and you're going to beat the crap out of your technology, which is not ideal. So I understand where they're coming from, and I think it was a great idea on their part to come out with this thing. And yeah, I think you'd be happy with it if you picked it up for yourself. I know I am, and I'm pumped again to get it on multiple builds this coming year. That's it for accessories. We've got a couple rods and reels though that I want to show you guys that we picked up on Black Friday deals. So first up, let's hit these reels. We did end up grabbing the Daiwa Aired 80. And yeah, this is pretty hyped up budget reel. Like, it's supposed to be upper echelon budget option. So normally 99 bucks, got it for $84.99. And right out the box, I'd say it's got a pretty smooth look to it. I've used some cheaper Daiwa reels, and I always thought like the sub $80, sub $90 price point, they just looked really cheap and felt really cheap in hand. I just wasn't a fan. But with this one, as soon as I grabbed it out of the box, I was like, okay, all right. It actually feels decently heavy duty. Again, we'll see how it holds up. Fairly basic setup for a Daiwa, but you should be getting some premium Daiwa quality. So remains to be seen. We'll have to see once we actually get it out there and get a chance to actually cast this thing around, because I haven't done that yet. All in all, like I said though, right out the box, feels like a nice clean setup. A good option for most folks that don't want to break the bank but want a decent reel or want to have something with Daiwa quality to it. So yeah, can't wait for next season so we can try it out. And then here's the specs for those that want it. It is 7 ounces, so not like insanely heavy, definitely not light, but not insanely heavy for a budget reel. And then 7:5-to-1 gear ratio. Sticking with Daiwa and going with another new release that they had this year, we got the Tatula X. So the Tatula X supposedly gives you that Tatula quality, but for 150 bucks instead of 200 plus. Now you can get some of their older models obviously around this price point too, but with newer components with some hopefully trickle down benefits of the higher end models, you're not getting it for 150. So this one I am really excited about actually. I've been a big fan of my Tatula SVTW that I picked up last year, and I don't think this will be any different for me. I think I would like this a lot as well. Here's the specs for anybody that wants to see them. We got the 8:1-to-1 gear ratio in a lefty, because that's just how we like to retrieve. That's just us. 6.9 ounces, so only 0.1 ounces lighter than the Aired 80, which is kind of insane. Same drag as the Aired 82, which is wild. But this does have the hyperdrive. It's got the T-Wing system, the TWS, and MagForce Z. So it's got, again, a lot of that like trickle down benefits of the upper end Tatula models. And I mean, you can't argue with how good it looks too. You're gonna be happy with this, I think, no matter what. It's got the nicer grips, big upgrade from what you get on the Aired 80. Feels really good. Pumped to get this on a combo, get out there, fish around and find out. And for the price on that Daiwa Tatula X, we did get that for $127, normally 150 bucks, so not too shabby on a Black Friday deal. Before I get to this last one, something wild that happened while we were shopping around for these things. Paul was like, I really want to get that SVTW. And I was like, hang on a second, you have an SVTW, we bought it last year. And he goes, no, no, no. And then I went back to our video archive and I was right. We actually bought it in January of this year, and I don't think he used it once, but it's sitting somewhere in his garage on a combo. This is a $200 reel. Now it's like 220 bucks. Like, what? What are you doing, man? All right, speaking of $200+ reels, yeah, I was jealous that Paul has one of these and I wanted one too, but this is the Shimano Corrado. This is the 151XG. So this is the higher gear ratio. It's the 8:1:1. We just happen to like those high-speed reels, specs for people that want to see them. So 6.7 ounces on this one, 13 pounds of drag, and it comes with those wonderful Shimano components. I mean, you're going to be happy with it, I feel. No matter what, I've always been pleasantly surprised with Shimano and Daiwa products, both of them. I enjoy them. I know some people are like one side or the other. I like all the reel companies for the most part. So this is the 150 model, and these are $235 right now, by the way. So for Black Friday, we were able to get this for $199, which I would say pretty solid deal. This is also the newest version that they revealed at ICAST 2025. So Paul has the 2024 version, and now I have the newer one, so that makes me better than him. It's gotta one up your buddies, you know? That's like half the game of life. There was another reel that we still don't have. So a couple months ago, we actually ordered the Daiwa Pro Rex spinning reel, which was a new budget reel released this year at ICAST. It's still not available. So I'm looking at maybe in a couple of weeks, I might get it. Figured I wasn't gonna wait to unbox the rest of this, so we just jumped ahead. But when that comes out, we'll definitely do some content on it. I think it looks pretty solid. Last three things to unbox here would have been four, because just like with the reels, we're missing that Daiwa Pro Rex. We are also missing a rod that will not be at our house for like another 2 months, maybe. It might not be until early 2026 that we get this. But 13 Fishing dropped a new budget model called the Jinx. We picked up a spinning rod version of this, and it came in on Black Friday special at $67.99. Normally an $80, I think it's $79.99. So needless to say, that's gonna be a fun one to fish around and find out with this coming season. Unfortunately, we probably won't see that thing at our house until January, February-ish. So I don't know, it doesn't matter. I'm not fishing right now, so I'll see it in the spring. Actually, another delayed rod did finally show up. So I have unboxed previously on the channel the new Tatula rods from Daiwa. These things are absolutely fantastic looking. Good quality components on these. Lots of great options between their casting and spinning setups. This is a spinning setup. So previously I showed you the casting version. We love the reel seat locking nut being on the bottom. That's a personal preference. I know it's subjective. Some people like it on top. Personally, I think it's better this way, and so does Paul. And then you've got that smooth grip up top, high quality cork on the bottom. And these things are just phenomenal. Feels really good in hand. This particular model is the 7-foot medium, rated for 1/8 ounce to 1/2 ounce. And for my two-piece haters, it is a two-piece, but it is an extremely long ferrule setup. So there's quite a bit of ferrule that's inside of that blank right there. Needless to say, I think this is going to be solid and a good option for Paul, who's going to be the one testing this one out. Last up, I got two more rods from brands that we have never featured on the channel, but that we've been asked to review and check out a lot. And those brands are Halo and Stix. So first up, let's take a look at Stix. This one I was like really impressed with right out the rod tube when I got this from TW. First of all, I mean, like, granted, this is a cheap edition. It is cool to see this. It includes the rod sleeve. Like, this came with it, so that was neat. It does have, you know, sort of like the basic locking nut here, as well as a basic bait keeper. It's actually my preferred style of bait keeper. It doesn't really get in the way. It's really effective, so I like that. But high quality grip. Looks like it's going to be extremely comfortable in hand. I like their color coding system. I like their naming convention that they use for this. And I also really like the price point. These are $150 normally, which is really, in the year 2025 and beyond, kind of good. That's kind of a good price point. It's especially nice when you can get it for 15% off. Therefore, it is $127.50, which is not bad at all. And again, it's got decent quality components all around. I think this thing is gonna fish really well. It's even got like a little measuring board down the side of it. And then the way they label them, there's actually a color coding system, and then they put all the details down on the butt section of the rod, which I think is pretty neat. We did get a chance to talk to Nick, the Informative Fisherman, on a few podcast episodes, actually. Really great guy, and he talked to us about this. He is part of the design team. Like, he built this thing. He made this. And suggested, you know, checking it out. Offered even to send us some. I bought this one. And I can't wait to try it out in the spring. This thing feels really good in hand. I can tell you off the hop, it feels really sturdy. It's a little heavier feeling than like a lot of the other rods that we've been trying out, but we've been looking at like the $200 plus price point. So if this thing is half as durable as it looks and feels, and it fishes well, I think we are gonna be good. We're gonna be very happy with this. And again, this is the 7.4 medium heavy. So we're gonna be doing some jigging probably and some Texas rig stuff with this. The rod sleeve is just a nice touch. Can like all companies just do this? Like why don't we do that? So last rod here is from Halo. And we have never unboxed or used, period, the end, a Halo rod. But a lot of people have recommended them. They've asked us to check these out, and we've refused. I'm kidding. We've just like haven't had either the money or the time to go after it and grab one. So we picked this up, Black Friday special. This is the second most expensive rod we picked up. That Tatula we did not get on sale because we bought it months ago. So this one came out to 140 bucks. I think it was originally 179. So this is the HFX series. If you can read that through this crazy like carbon red and gray pattern that they have. I mean, it looks really nice. Like this is high quality look and pretty premium feel, I would say, to this too. And this one is the 7-foot medium action extra fast. Wanted to grab like straight up Ned rig rod. That's what this is. And I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. So you can see that carbon pattern ends right about there. And it goes to just a smooth black section the rest of the way. These guys do have a 5-year warranty. We'll see how that holds up. Oh, this is the Japanese Toray graphite, which is nice in our opinion. I think we like that. These are also fresh and saltwater rated. And then they've got this set up in a way, look at this grip. Grip is pretty neat. Don't love that the locking nut's on the top, but again, that's just me being nitpicky for my personal preference. But I do like how they have this set up where you can potentially have your finger pretty easily on the blank, so you can have a little more sensitivity there. Pop a reel in this thing and see how it looks. So yeah, they're talking about the setup is designed to have you grip it kind of like this, where you can have this forefinger there on the blank, which is gonna give you a little more sensitivity. You're gonna sense that bite a little bit better. We'll see if we feel comfortable doing that throughout the day, but all in all, I'd say it's a really good looking rod, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun addition to the lineup come spring. That is it for this haul, you guys. That's all I got. So let us know how we did in the comments below. Let us know what deals you scored over Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Hopefully you found some good ones. Hopefully you picked up some things you've been looking at maybe all year round and finally got a deal on it. That would be awesome. And then of course, give us some ideas. What do you want to see done with all these products here? You want to see some on the water reviews? Listen. It's ice right now in Michigan, but we can do something. We can figure something out. Maybe we just go flip around and find out in the front yard in the snow. I don't know. Just let us know if you got some ideas for content that you want to see in the comments below. We appreciate you guys for watching. Ring that notification bell, smash that like, be subscribed, all that good stuff. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next video.